Hello. Eva, I have to come back soon.
Yes, you have to.
Ja, ich mache mal ganz kurz auf Deutsch, damit die Leute auch vorbereitet sind. Eva kann ein kleines bisschen Deutsch, trotzdem machen wir das Ganze gleich auf Englisch. Ja, willkommen beim Floki-Stream heute Abend, selbstverständlich auf Englisch. Ja, geht heute um die leckeren Whiskys und, also vorrangig Whiskys aus Island. Gin machen sie auch, aber darum geht es heute nicht vorrangig. Ein paar Leute haben Sample-Sets bekommen, die können natürlich gerne mittrinken. Wir machen jetzt nicht so ein richtiges Tasting hier draus, sondern die Leute, die ein Tasting-Set haben, können das natürlich gerne mit begleiten. Wir werden auch zu den Whiskys was erzählen, aber, oder besser gesagt Eva. Genau. So we switch over to English. Hi,
That's
Eva.
better. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, so it was last year in May or June that I visited you guys.
Yeah.
Way too long.
Early June you came.
Early June, yeah.
Yeah. So we got a good weather at least.
Yeah. I remember the people wrote me afterwards, like they saw the picture on Facebook where I wearing a shirt next to the ice. Like, wasn't it cold? No. We had over 20 degrees, right?
No, it felt like it was probably around 15 most.
Okay.
It feels warmer.
Okay. Yeah.
But 20 is like 2 times a year.
Yeah. It was a great trip.
It was great to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell us a bit about you, Eva.
So I'm the distillery manager and one of the founders and owners of Eimverk. We started this in 2009 and we got the distillery up and running in 2013. So we have been distilling since 2013. First product we released was the gin, Vor, and then Flóki Single Malt came out. It's now 2017. We released Flóki Single Malt. No, it's not that far. Is it that far? It feels much shorter than it actually is. It's been so much fun. It's such a different industry. This industry doesn't exist in Iceland. So we are building an industry. So you kind of you don't realize how much time actually has passed since we started. 7 years since we started the distillery. It is amazing. So, yeah.
And it changed a bit. So I remember you told us, or tell the people, how did you start making whiskey at home?
So the first idea kind of started in a family camp when we were drinking whiskey and looking at the barley field, how it sways in the weather. And we were trying to, can you just give me 1 second?
The children, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Well, like everyone else, working from home will implement your kids. So we started out there, kind of why hasn't whiskey been made in Iceland and why is nobody producing Icelandic whiskey out of Icelandic barley? And we wanted to figure out why. A lot of people said the Icelandic barley wasn't good enough and it wasn't going to give a good whiskey, but we proved them wrong. We love the Icelandic barley. The Icelandic barley gives us really earthy tones and it gives you more of the oils. So it's softer spirit that you get out of it, but maybe not as high yields as you would get from others. Yeah. So that is how we started, just looking at a barley field and wanting to figure out how we could do it. and it's been a really fun ride since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was in 2009, right?
2009, the idea was started out, and Halle, the CEO, he actually just bought a sack of barley and tried it out in his kitchen. Is it possible? Can you do this? And we figured out, well, you can do it. And then we just had to build the entire distillery around it. Yeah, that's maybe better.
If the kitten isn't faster than the kids.
yeah, exactly. And I don't want her to eat all the treats.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I'll do that next time. Or lock them in somewhere.
Are you in the house where we went at the farm?
No, I'm at my apartment.
Are you in your apartment? Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
We live about 9 kilometers away from the distillery, and we go to the farm on the weekends.
Okay. Yeah.
The kids love it, so we go.
It's a great place. We will see some pictures later. So yeah, so maybe we can start showing some pictures from the trip.
Yes.
Yeah. The very first stop we made was the what was it? The Blue Lagoon?
Or yeah. Didn't I take you straight? Yeah, I took you straight to the Blue Lagoon from the airport. Yeah. It's actually really good to get jet lag out and everything. Just go straight to the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, there will be some pictures at the end, I guess.
Now we went back to take pictures.
I'm not sure if it's working that way. No.
This is the distillery. So we are in the back house in an old working area. And you can see our main still is there, our spirit still. Yes, we are still in Garðabær. We have at least a few years there to go, but they have kind of changed everything, how they want to have this neighborhood. So we don't know for how long we get to stay there.
Okay.
But for now, at least, we're still in Garðabær.
Yeah. So as you can see, everything is very packed. It's a small warehouse. What looks like a small warehouse from the outside. Yeah.
We are actually getting, so we have kind of 3/4 of the back house. We're actually getting the last part of it. So we're going to have the entire back house in February.
Okay.
Or so. And there are our products. So we have put up a visiting center, and when it's not COVID and everything closed down, we do have about, well, in January we were having 20 people or minimum a day in the visiting center.
Okay.
So we do have tours there, and hopefully it will go back up as soon as we have, as soon as we get tourists back in Iceland and everything is open again.
Yeah, that's a famous sheep dung.
This is the sheep dung.
Like, I think the first contact for the most people in Germany who's learning about Flóki is the sheep dung, because it's something special.
Yeah, it's different. So sheep dung is actually something that is really traditional in Iceland. Using it to smoke anything, it is the tradition. And personally, when I get like smoked lamb meat, I don't like it unless it's smoked with sheep dung.
We tried that.
Gives a special taste. But the sheep dung is actually drying it and using it. It was the only fuel we had for a long, long time. And there you can see our barrels that we keep in the distillery, and those are basically just barrels that we are kind of swap barrels. So we have to send a full truck. It takes 20 barrels at a time, and but we have to. So the smoke itself or the sheep dung itself, how we produce it. How do you pronounce? Tadricht. I pronounce it, yeah. When we're talking about sheep dung in Icelandic, you say tadricht. Yeah, that's a tricky word.
Yeah, your whole language is tricky. I don't remember any words from the trip. Nothing.
But still, it's...
Skull.
Yeah, skull. So the barrels you're showing here, they're kind of like our switching barrels. So they're coming in so we can empty them, or we have just recently filled them. And this is just kind of like swap stock. And then everything gets stocked at the farm. And we have been we just added 1 container, and they need to add 1 container more. So we're up to 4 containers now. And each container has around 50 to 60 barrels. No, a little bit more, because we're just over. So we do have private cask. There is 1 person that has bought 10 casks, and we store them at the farm. But all of the casks in the picture you're seeing are just production casks that we're using.
Okay.
So we use American oak. That fits better with our spirit. Some of them come from Spain, and some of them are coming from Scotland. So we don't have any coopers anymore in Iceland, so we have to get the barrels shipped in whole, meaning that shipping cost is extremely high, and it actually puts kind of like 50% more to them, just shipping them. So, but they work for us, and that is one of the reasons for the young malt, is that we started just buying brand new barrels, and then we use them to have the young malt in for 9 to 12 months. Then we empty them and refill them right away with the single malts. And then we have some barrels with sherry in them, sherry barrels. So this is our main still. This is the spirit still, the copper still from Germany, from Holstein. Cannot remember the name in front of it. The only thing we have done for this still is that we put automation on it. So we ran it like 200-300 times, wrote every single detail down in each run, timing, temperature, air pressure, everything that we could think of. We wrote that down, and then we could make a trend so it actually is automated. It does give us sounds when it's close to getting into cut points. So we actually go and check cut points. But that means that we can run her twice a day, and we don't have to have people on shifts. So everyone can just work from 8 to 4, the distillery staff, and it will shut down on her own.
Okay.
Yeah, kids. Okay. This is the first thing we did, is we released it as a small barrel.
These are the private casks, right?
Yeah, we sold like 10 of those or something. And the thing is, when you have such a small cask, everything will evaporate so quickly. Yeah. So like 9 to 6 months, it's just gone out of it. They're just empty in 2 years. They're totally dry. So it's more of a gimmick than ever to age your own spirit. And people were calling us up in the middle of the night because the barrel was leaking. We went like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. Floki, the standard that you're looking at now, is we pack everything in 47%, and it is really earthy, but it has this Floki taste that comes through all of the products. Even though we have different type of cask, you always have the same base taste through everything.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. You want to do the tasting now for this?
So yeah, the guys who get a sample could start now drinking the
The regular one.
Flóki Single Malt.
Wait, I'm gonna get mine.
Yeah, I don't have the bottle of the normal one, but
You don't have a bottle of it.
I have a sheep tongue at home, so
Okay.
it's quite a similar label, so to show, yeah. So you have always on the back side, you have all the details.
Yes. So you can always look up each barrel, so you can see, and there is going to be a difference between barrels due to the fact that we are doing single barrel bottomings. Did I freeze? Hello?
Oh yeah, you freeze. We hear you, but yeah, you freeze.
But everything. Wait, I'm going to see what the camera is doing. Yeah, technical issues. But anyway, let's talk about whiskey.
You could try to join in again.
No, it's just it will come now.
Well, that's life.
That's live. Wait.
That's life.
I have another camera. It isn't as good.
Ah,
Yeah,
no,
I'm going to try the other one.
Better start with the single malt or young malt. Well, if you have a young malt, I'm not sure if there was young malt in the tasting pack.
Okay.
There was, maybe.
I don't know. You made the tasting pack. I didn't.
Yeah, What did I do? But then, yes, you should start with the young malt.
Start with the young malt. Yeah. So the young malt is. There it is. Now we're back. Because the camera on my phone is much better. The computer? Here we are.
Okay. Yeah. So there was a young malt. Okay. So yeah, it's better to start with the young malt. So the young malt is always new American oak, right?
Yeah, and virgin casks.
And virgin casks. Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of the biggest difference between the single malt and the young malt is the timing, and that the cask that we use the single malt for is previously it has young malt, and I cannot for the love of me open. Yeah, I got it. Well, at least we know it's not gonna evaporate anything from the cask, from the bottles. The young malt.
Oh, yeah, right. I have a set here, so yeah, there was a young malt.
Mm-hmm. I really like the young malt if I'm doing cocktails, and I'd rather use the young malt because most cocktails are made for the US whiskeys. So the young malt is quite similar to a US whiskey. It has a virgin cask, rapid aging, short aging.
Oops. Nothing happened. Yeah. But yeah, it's such a special flavor in the nose already. It's like you smell the Floki.
Yeah. And you can feel how long the taste is staying in your mouth. How the oils are coating your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a second. Stelpur mínar. Stelpur. Svafa. It has this specific taste to it. It's really good also to use it in your cooking. Yeah, I've tried a lot of stuff. I have so much whiskey that I do try a lot of stuff with it.
I haven't tried the young malt for a long time. It's really good already, to be honest.
It is really good.
The single malt is a bit more smooth.
Yes.
So it's 1.5 years, right? The young malt?
12 to 18 months. It depends
12 to 18
on.
months, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the original idea was to stop selling the young malt, just making the single malt take over. But we have such a good client base for the young malt that we think we can't do it. There are so many people that love the young malt, and I totally understand it. It's really, even though it's so young, it is still smooth.
I have to make an old fashioned with it. It smells like an old fashioned already.
Yeah.
Patty, we have to do this.
Halala.
Whiskey cookies.
Cookies, yeah. Not so sure. Well, maybe if you have the raisins laying in the whiskey for a while and then put it in.
Okay. Into the cookie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think then you could get some. Now, the young malt is good. The young malt also comes in the sheepdog smoke version. So we have the young malt both in standard and the sheepdog.
Okay. Yeah, that's the range.
That is the range.
Not the full range, but
no.
The standards.
We hadn't started everything. When you visited, we still hadn't bottled everything.
You made baijiu when we were there.
Yeah, we do make baijiu as well. The Chinese market is liking the baijiu. We actually gave it the name Demon. So, due to the fact that the brennivin is vite, which is kind of underneath you, Demon actually means in Celtic two mountain peaks standing next to each other. So we thought it was fitting to have, like, one is underneath and the other one is on top. So that's the baijiu.
Yeah. So besides the whiskey, you do some gin. You have the barrel-aged gin, so the golden one here. Viti Aquavit.
Mm-hmm. We also put that in a barrel. Because barrels are fun.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
With the beer, so you do a Flóki Aquavit finish sometimes?
We have never put, well, maybe we could do that, but I'm not sure. I think it will become too complicated. I'm not so sure how the caraway or the cumin is going to fit with people's palate. Probably I will love it because I love the taste of cumin. But I'm not so sure how other people are going to find that.
You can do it, so try it.
Yeah, I can do it.
You're not Scotland.
No, exactly.
Yeah, maybe do I don't know the English word. Do a Aufguss with the Flóki.
Yeah, it might remind. Yeah, of course, it is earthy. It is.
Yeah.
It is the Scandinavia, I think. The aquavit is Scandinavia a lot. So, you can see. Well, yeah. Or you can see the sheepdung there, and when you smell it without lighting it on fire, it will just smell like earth. But then, as soon as you light it on fire, you will get this extreme smoke. That is this specific sheep dung smoke. Yeah,
I liked it when from start. The first time I smelled the sheep dung, I said like, I like it.
I'm not a fan of smoked whiskeys. For now, we haven't planned any red wine whiskey. I wanted to get my hands on white wine barrel because Stefan at Stowning, he was like, I think you should try white wine barrel.
Right, you met him last year.
Yeah.
In Nuremberg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you do anything when you're around at the distillery, like this? Yeah, you have a small bottling lane, you have a label machine.
Yeah, we do everything on site. as much as we can.
Yeah.
The only thing we cannot do is build the barrels. We do fix the barrels if we need to. We have gotten a little bit of training in that, so we managed to fix them if we need to. But we rather just pay a little bit more, get better barrels, so we don't run into troubles with them. But of course, nothing is 100% in that. We do have a tasting in everything. Always when we're bottling, we do a tasting before and kind of write it down with us.
Yeah, this one did Christian. I remember we emptied one cask and tried the whiskey, and Christian did the selection of the notes.
Yeah. Can you give me a minute? You talk. Just give me a second.
Ja, sure. Ja, gut, mit Kindern ist nicht einfach, ne? Die sind immer ganz lieb, die beiden. Ich habe die auch kennengelernt letztes Jahr. Genau, das war ganz witzig. Wir haben da so ein Fass geleert und Christian musste dann quasi auswählen, wie die Noten im Whisky sind. Also wenn das irgendjemand zu diesem Fass gelesen hat, das muss nicht richtig sein. Macht er auch nicht häufig. War aber eine coole Erfahrung. Also wir haben wirklich komplett mitgearbeitet an den Tag. Also die haben, als wir angekommen sind, haben die tatsächlich gerade Baijiu abgefüllt für den chinesischen Markt und wir haben Fässer geleert, wir haben da gelabelt und wir haben die Flaschen dann zusammengepackt, die Palette beladen. Christian musste wickeln. So ein bisschen wie bei Kirsch halt. So.
Hi, I'm back. So yeah, the two of them are not getting along right now. So so we do everything in-house. And that also is part of it, that we don't have bottling lines in Iceland, big, huge bottling lines. We can't ship it somewhere to get bottled, but we can, but it was more expensive to do that than buy a small machine and do it ourselves. So we do everything in-house. So we have, so we manage every single part of the product. What you're seeing now is actually the birch spirals.
Yeah. That was interesting because when I heard you make a birch wood finish, I thought you do a birch barrel, and I could not imagine how this would work.
Well, luckily we have someone that has tried to make a birch barrel and he managed to make a barrel, but it does leak a lot. And the problem is that it doesn't grow straight, that it does turn. So because we only can get wood that is sawn down, not split with axes, you're going to have problems with leakage if you build a barrel. So we went this way of making spirals. And and I really like that one because the Icelandic birch put sweetness into it. A lot of people think that we are putting birch syrup into it completely, but we don't put anything in except the Sorry.
Ja, das ist ganz cool tatsächlich. Also die kohlen halt diese Birkenpanels aus und dann kommen die ins Fass. Und das ist aber krass, wie das den Whisky beeinflusst, finde ich. Also die Leute, die es haben, ich finde, der kriegt dadurch so eine ganz krasse Süße. So, I just said okay. Ja. Also ja, würde ich nur mal empfehlen, irgendwie, vielleicht kann man jemand eine Teilung organisieren oder so. Super spannend, finde ich. Diese Birke gibt so eine ganz eigene Süße ab. Deswegen kann ich mir vorstellen, warum die Leute gesagt haben, dass die da dachten, dass die da so ein Sirup reinmachen. Aber das ist, ich weiß nicht, wie viele die davon ins Fass legen, aber finde ich faszinierend. So habe ich es noch nie gehört, dass das irgendjemand macht.
So the thing is, due to the fact that we're not in Scotland, we are allowed to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
We're allowed to play around, but they have to be stored. The whiskey has to be stored in the barrel for 3 years, and that is what we do. So basically what we do is we do take the single malt and then keep it with the spirals for 3 months. And
it's a special sweetness. So how many of the sticks do you put in the barrel?
we have 6, if I remember right.
Okay.
Yeah. And it gives kind of the sweetness in the back of your throat. So it doesn't hit you straight away. It gives you sweetness.
Yeah. That's so special.
It is.
So far, it's my favorite from Floki.
It is also one of my favorites.
The meat is also great, but the birch is very special. Ja. So, so. Geht jetzt Schlag auf Schlag hier. Yeah? As I said, it's more Sweden. Ja. Also, wir sind halt, als wir da bei ihr waren, sind wir nach der Destillerie oder am nächsten Tag war das, glaube ich, sind wir ein bisschen auf der Insel rumgefahren und haben unter anderem auch eine Bierbrauerei besucht, mit denen die auch zusammenarbeiten. Es gibt ja auch so ein Bier, so ein Stout-Finish.
So this is actually from Ölvingsholt. And this is Asta from Ölvingsholt. And she has been putting lager into the barrels from us, not stout, but lager.
Yeah, lager, sorry. Yeah.
We do have the stout barrels, but that is from other companies. So we haven't bottled the barrels that we have whiskey with lager in it.
Okay.
It is coming. So the ones that the beer has only been from stout barrels now.
So it's a green, well, it's like a kind of green one.
Yeah. And also we started printing the labels in wow, this one shows so weird. Yeah, oh, it's green, so it doesn't show. So we started printing the labels in Turkey, so we get much better labels now. But we're just finishing off the stock of the labels that you have. Those were printed in Iceland, and we have the problem of that it doesn't. We don't get the right. They don't have the right printing machines that we want. So, but the beer that we have printed now, bottled now, is this is from Ölvingsholt. They are in just an old outhouses in the farm.
Yeah. I remember the trek up to the brewery was like, okay, where are we going, Eva? What is your plan with us?
Yeah, it is quite a drive. Yes, and now you're showing.
Die eine kommt gerade in die Pubertät, muss man dazu sagen. Schwieriges Alter. Das war echt witzig. Irgendwie, wir sind da so einen komischen Berg hochgefahren und das war, also ich wäre da nicht mit dem Auto gefahren, das wäre für mich keine Straße gewesen, aber ja. Und dann kommt man zu dieser Hütte und ich dachte, okay. Ja.
Yeah, but they do. I love her lager and Skjolti, which she's putting in. It's her standard lager, and I love her beer. So she actually is picking up 2 more barrels tomorrow to store a beer in, and she will, and then we will get them back. Yeah, I'm running out of stuff to throw to them.
Okay, so when will we get the first lager?
In a few months, we can bottle that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. And then
The next door was the famous black sand beach. Yeah, so we got a good burger, more beer.
Oh, yeah, more beer. Smiðjan is another small brewery, and they are in Vík.
The Black Beach, yeah.
Yeah. So people think this is extraordinary, but this is kind of how Iceland is. We mainly have black beach, and we go crazy when we see like white sand. We go like, oh my God, it's so amazing, because we only have black sand. And that has to do with the volcanoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is still a standard, but did you put the Skipton into the tasting pack?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, I have to.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm losing the bottles. I need to put them back.
How was this place called?
Jökulsárlón.
Okay. That was a very cool place. Like, you were a bit scared. I remembered, like, there were 2 less ice. You said there should be much more ice, but...
So the lagoon has actually been growing bigger. So it's kind of, they think the lagoon is going to disappear in a few years and just be an open stream.
So when we just arrived, there was the iceberg was turning around.
Oh, yeah, it flipped. It was so pretty to see it.
That was crazy.
You can also see people going out on the icebergs.
Yeah.
Please do not do that. That's the water is around 4 degrees, and it takes you within 4 minutes to go into hypothermia if you fall into this. And they have been having problems with that, but it is beautiful to look at it. And you can actually go take a tour and sail around the icebergs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool place.
It is a beautiful
Could have
place.
stayed there forever.
Yeah, we had to go back to the farm.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had cognac breakfast. And I miss that a lot.
Yeah, this is something that, I don't know, they have always done this. My grandma does this. If she's traveling, she always have like 1 shot of cognac each morning, so her stomach won't be upset with different food. So of course, when we have foreigners, because they're trying all the crazy food that we eat normally, of course they got cognac for breakfast. And this is at the farm.
Yeah.
And we put up a garden center or garden house, and here you can see into one of the containers with the barrels. Yeah,
so the farm is like family owned, and there you have so you have some containers with the barrels, and there you also do the peated barley for the sheep dung.
We actually dry all of the barley there. We do grow most of our barley depending on the years. This year we didn't manage to grow everything we need, so we need to buy in from other farms. The year before that, we got like 125 tons. We got like 68 or 80, 60, 70 tons this year. So it depends on the summer 2019 was phenomenal.
Okay.
We haven't had such a good summer in decades. It was the hottest summer that has been in Iceland since they started recording temperature in Iceland. So that was amazing. And then 2020, it was okay, not as warm. So we didn't get as much barley, but still we got around 60 to 80 tons. Yeah. So we will buy in from other farms as well.
Okay.
We buy from 2 other farms, which are also in the south. A little bit further. No, we drove past one of them.
Okay.
No, we drove past both of them. Yeah, it's that far. We drove. We went so far. This is the first cask that we made.
We tried the second one.
Yeah,
I remember. It was something totally different.
Yeah, so basically the first 2 casks are made in the still that we made ourselves, not the good copper still. And it took me like a month to distill enough, because I was only like distilling 50 liters at a time. And it took me a whole month just to distill enough so I could fill the barrel. Now it takes us, 2 days to distill enough spirit so we can fill the barrel.
But it was also funny how crazy different it was. Like, okay, will you ever bottle it, or maybe when it is 10 years old, or?
Well, maybe this will be bottled when it's 35 or something. We don't know. If it tastes good at 10 years, yes, then we'll bottle it. But if the meat cask, what is that? So meat is honey beer in a way.
It's meat auf Deutsch, also Honigmeat.
Yeah, people misunderstood me when I tried to say that in Germany last time. So there was one of the small brewers in Iceland. They actually only make meat, so the honey meat, and they got a barrel from us and stored meat in it, and then we got to store. And it comes with this honey sweetness, and you can taste the honey through it. If you have from barrel number 1, then you have. Do you have barrel number 1 or 2? Because I have barrel 2 here, and when we did that.
So this is number 1, yeah.
So you have number 1.
Yeah,
I have no number 1. Mine is done, finished. So I have number 2, and then we blended together smoke and meat. So we put smoked whiskey into the meat barrel, and then you will get and you are getting the last from this barrel, number 2, on the pallet that we were packing today for you.
Oh, cool. Okay, you can smell the honey.
Já, ég ætla ekki að bjóða þér whisky, ég þarf það bara setna.
Yeah.
This is like, you can give a hug.
Sweet.
Nikka fólki, sem var að setja búrvars á þig. Yeah, so this is one of them making the noise. Yeah, the honey, I like the sweetness from the birch also better than the honey. And the barrel number 2, due to the fact it has really mild smoke in it. And I was really particular. I don't like really smoky flavor. So I try to have it soft smoke.
Is Egil still doing the distillery?
No. He sometimes comes in and consults, but basically it's me and Bjössi.
Okay.
And Halle, and then Erla and Craig. So for this barrel example, number 2, we just did a few different mixes, and then it was just like, what do we like in this one? What do we like in that one? And we're kind of learning as we go. There's a lot of that for us when you're young distillery and you don't have an industry that is 100-year-old that you can go and look into.
Are the new Flókis are older, or are they all still 3 years old or 4?
So the birch is 3 years and 3 months.
Okay.
The mead is usually a little over 3 months, so about 3.5 years. If you're going to ask me if we're going to do a 12-year-old, I think we're not going to taste good after 12 years in a barrel. The aging is kind of throwing us off a little bit here in Iceland. And that has to do with we don't have moisture in the air. So the barrel is, I always look at like their breathing when they're pulling and pushing the alcohol through. So they are kind of do it much, much quicker than you do it where you have higher moist content in the air. So I think 12-year-old is going to be over oak. And for some reason in my mind, I think like 6 to 8 is going to be our premium sweet spot.
Okay.
But the thing is, we are storing barrels to get it so we can have it older. But it does take time.
Okay.
And we don't have so much stock. COVID is helping out there, so we have more stock now.
So while your barley also needs double the time to grow, so...
No, actually, the barley we are using, it actually grows quicker than the barley that has better, more warmer weather. But it does have, so the varieties we use in Iceland, you have to have 90 days above 10 degrees, so they will ripen. The sunlight all day round helps it as well. So we managed to get the barley just in 90 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
like 3 months. How's the industry? It's more. We lose about 4% a year. We managed to keep the alcohol percentage quite the same. So we are kind of losing equally much of water and alcohol, but we are losing about 4% a year. So yeah, okay. But we do, the containers are old freezer containers, so we are trying to minimize the fluctuation in the temperature. Like this week, they got -12 for the past 2 days. The temperature has been -12 in Iceland for the past 2 days. It's been horribly cold, but it's going up again. So we're around 0 now.
Okay. Here it's quite warm, still warm. So this is one of the fields next to your farm, right?
Yeah, so this is on the farm. And you can see the light green, that is the barley field.
Yeah, it was just start growing.
Yeah, but so that was also a great summer. Yeah, here you can see the farm. The house on the left is the old house that my uncle and aunt, they have that, and they restored it. So we bought the farm in 2012. Yeah. Then you can see the old outhouses, which used to be a barn, and then you had sheep houses on both sides. So what we have done is we have actually digged out everything. We have put concrete floors into the entire barn and into the old sheep houses as well. And in the barn and the sheep house on the top, we have actually been putting in the barley production. So we have to dry the barley. The dryer went in there. We have now, so we can actually clean up, take the husk of it if we want to. So the farm is getting more and more towards just working the barley. And then we also have the smoker there for the barley when we do the sheep dung smoke.
And some horses.
Oh, of course we have horses. I think this is actually Fruma. This my brother's horse. My daughters, they ride this horse. Yeah, we do have horses. The only animals on the farm are about 12 chickens and then 20 horses. So not many animals, but then we do have all of the barley. And here you can see the barn, and in this, the smaller house, that is where we're putting up the everything for the barley production or working. Yes. Yeah, they want to see. They want to be famous. They want to be soon on internet. There you can see the barley field and how. So this is early June. We managed 2019. We got it down really early in the spring.
Yeah.
And you can see it's about 10 to 15 centimeters that it has grown already. And you were here in the beginning of June. So, and then it just went on. Wait, isn't that when you went up to Lightwood? Yeah, and this is Kempwood.
Yeah. That's
so
not
this is one
farm.
of the. No, this is not at our farm. So we rent few fields as well, due to the fact that our farm has a certain type of soil, and if the weather is really windy. Well, I have been asked to do that as well, to use my brother's stallion. Yeah, sure, why not? Someday we can do that for you. We can make a barrel just with the horse dung smoked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that will probably give you like. Have you ever been into a horse house? It's much stronger and different smell than in the sheep house. So this is actually traditional old Icelandic buildings.
That was a cool place.
Yeah. So, like you can see, and if you see them, actually the Icelandic houses used to be built so you'd never had to go outside. You could kind of walk around. You went into the animals inside of the house, and also then you got the heat from the animals, so you didn't have to use coal, which you didn't get, or sheep dung. You didn't have to burn as much sheep dung to keep the house warm. So you walk inside. And this is the beautiful smoker we used.
Yeah.
I need to get you new photos from the barn.
You have a new one?
They've changed a lot. I need to get them to you. Or just go and take the photos of it, because they have done a lot since you were there. But this is how we do smoke the barley. There is 1 or 2 breweries in Iceland that also buy smoked barley from us. Einstök brewery, they use smoked barley in one of their beers, and this is the sheep dung. And there is only one farmer in Iceland that makes the sheep dung. And
really?
This is actually a 2 years process of getting this, so you can burn it.
Okay.
And you have to have a house that the sheep can trample it down through the entire winter. And then you dig it out in the summer or in the spring, and then you have to have it outside for 2 years to dry it, so it's dry enough for you to burn it. And when you burn it, it stinks.
Wasn't
and then it gives.
Wasn't a part of the barn, the floor was made of sheep dung?
Yeah, but no, we did not use that.
No, for sure not.
Yes. So traditionally, it is basically you had just earth floors, and then you put the animals inside. And after the winter, we have to keep them in for about 8 to 9 months a year. We keep them inside. So after the winter, you kind of had this much shit on the floor that had been trampled down. So if you didn't dig it out, you couldn't fit the animals in few years. So you had to dig it out. But then, of course, people realized that if they tried it, they could use it as a fuel. We don't have trees, like you saw. We don't have trees. And coals are expensive. We have to import them. And shipping wasn't like, hey, we're going to send a ship to Iceland every week with coals. It wasn't like that. It was like, okay, we get ship in the spring and hopefully in the fall. So people had to figure out another way to have fuel. So here, this is my father. He is breaking up, and he takes care of the smoking. So he used to run a fish factory where he smoked fish. So this is his specialty.
Yeah. The whole barn was smelling. Was smelling for hours, and I could have stayed there all the time.
Yeah.
There's a lamp, the smoked lamp.
This is the smoked lamp. And
yeah, I've never eaten something like this before. It
is really, really good.
Yeah.
And this is, when you eat it raw like this, you have it more smoke than if you want to boil it and then eat it. But this is something we eat on Christmas. And that is traditional Icelandic to eat hangikjöt, or smoked lamb meat. Here you can see the farm. the barn.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, and the dryer is still outside. We actually have now put that inside of the barn. And we could, and I think it weighs around 4 tons or something. We managed to pull it a little bit apart when we were moving it into it, but still the last kind of where we position it into the farm, we couldn't put the machines in. So we had to do it by hand. So it was like 6 of us moving it back and forth because they were like, oh, it's 10 centimeters too on this side. We need to move it out again and then in again because we want to move it 10 centimeters. So it's completely in the middle. Yeah, that was a hard day at the farm.
Yeah. So that was at midnight, nearly at midnight.
So beautiful.
That was crazy. And it's even more darker than it was due to the camera, but yeah, that wasn't, I think that was like 10.
Yeah.
9 to 10.
Yeah, in the morning. So this is actually a house that my parents have. They built it, what, 2 years ago? Yeah, but it's built like the old houses in Iceland. So a lot of people, when they come to the farm, they believe this house is the old house and the other one is the newer. This is brand new house, but my mom has always have a dream of having this small Icelandic cottage. So finally she has it, and they actually are at the farm Friday to Sunday every single weekend. They go to the farm, and my uncle and aunt, they have actually stayed quite a bit due to COVID. They almost just moved to the farm right now to keep themselves safe from COVID. But it's best ever to go to the farm. It's so great. You kind of just rewind, you just everything disappears. So yeah. So
yeah, that's the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, that's the Blue Lagoon. We took the photos there.
Yeah, I cannot explain it.
It's quite simple. So due to the fact that how new Iceland is, they put a power plant in, and when you're in the Reykjanes Pendula, where the airport is, if you drill and get hot water up, you're going to get seawater or salt water, but like filtered through the lava, but you don't get fresh water. So there is, because it is right on the plates separations where the American and European plates are going apart, you have extremely hot area there. So they have a power plant, and Blue Lagoon is actually the waste from the power plant. It is the wastewater from the power plant. And the reason for why someone realized that you could bathe in it is that one of the workers at the power plant, he had cirrhosis. And he had read that if you were bathing in water like this, you could, it would heal your skin. So he started bathing in it, and then it kind of caught on that you could go and bathe in it. And it's really good for your skin. Your hair is going to be horrible for a week after you go into it, but your skin is fantastic after it. And when I was younger, you kind of just went in and you were just swimming in the lava. So you came up and you'd bang your knee and you were just diving after the silica. Today, they've made a swimming pool, so it's much safer, much nicer. And you can buy drinks in there and you get the silica. It's beautiful. It is so great. We took the kits this summer because they kind of gave everyone like free ticket. So we were like, yeah, we're going to go with the kids. It is beautiful there. So what more did you have in the pack? I'm tasting the meat.
Yeah. How long do you smoke the sheepdog?
I can't remember.
A few hours, right?
Yeah, it is a few hours. It takes, I think it's probably around 12 hours or something that we do smoke it. We're not doing it rapid. It's kind of quick. Where? In Iceland?
No, in the Blue Lagoon.
No.
They had beer only, right?
Yeah, in the lagoon itself, but the restaurant does sell the whiskey. Yeah. And in the lagoon, they only allow beer, I think.
So I have to try the sheep tongue.
Oh yeah, you like the sheep tongue. Super cute.
If you do not people tell that it's made of sheep tongue.
Well, usually we do it after
never
people.
imagine.
No, it is quite subtle. I have to remember this next time. Open the bottle in forehand.
You smell the barley.
You always smell the barley through.
Yeah.
And I think that is kind of my favorite, is that you can always smell this base.
You should maybe invent a bottle who's doing the sheep sound. Meh. With you open the bottle.
Yeah. Yeah, next time. Okay. Or I'll bring a sheep to you so we can have it. Just bring with us. It's like, we have a sheep. Yeah, you can smell it. And if you have been into a sheep house in Iceland, you will definitely smell this sheep dung smoke.
Yeah. We tried to interview a sheep, but they were too shy.
They don't like people. They like being up in the mountains, so they are. There is actually quite a tradition that we go to a farm up north every September or every fall, because we have to collect the sheep. We have to get them down from the mountains. They are not going to come on their own, and usually they want to go in the other direction that you want them to do. And they're not like goats. Goats want to be patted. They want you to be close to you. The sheep are going to be in the other direction, running as fast as they can. So we need to get them down from the mountains every single fall, but we do let them roam free for 3 months a year. So they are free from May until September, middle of May to middle of September. Yes.
Yeah. So there is a cast strand young malt, I remember.
Yes, we have done it.
Will there be a single malt?
If you ask for it, yeah.
Christoph.
Yeah, I'm just like. So we have done cask strengths as well. And we do cask strength as well. But that's not our standard, so we don't have it on stock. So, but when we're asked for it by the market, will bottle it. Yes.
If some people are interested, we could.
Yeah.
Probably. How much ABV?
It's around 60. We're putting into barrels at 62.5, 63. Okay. Yeah. For the second fill that we are doing. We have been putting a higher strength into third and fourth fills. Yeah, you can smell the smoke through this. Yeah, it's smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, still not my favorite.
No?
No, will never be.
What about the Flóki? We don't have them.
Yeah, we can send them to you if you want to. Just get my email from the guys and we can figure it out, but you have to pay the shipping. We do bring hoodies with us when I come to the shows.
Yeah.
We have been, but there are no shows now. So yeah, we can figure it out. No problem. Just send us an email. We can figure it out.
Maybe Nuremberg, the village, a bit maybe.
Yeah. Well, they were closing down the last time we were there, so
hopefully latest in Bremen next year.
Yeah.
Bottle market.
Yeah. Hopefully, then this is going to be over. So we have been in shutdown as well as everyone else, and not as well. We had the third wave because we managed to close it down. So we are opening a little bit up, but still all bars, all gyms are closed. But the schools, they managed to protect the schools so the kids wouldn't take so much out of the kids' daily routine. But yeah, hopefully Nuremberg.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, and I also think it's strange not to be in Bremen now. I was seeing on my Facebook feed like, oh, 3 years ago you were in Bremen. I was like, yeah, I know, thank you. I want to be there now.
Have you been to Hamburg this year?
No.
For your family?
Nuremberg was the last. When I came home from Nuremberg, that was the last that anyone traveled. They were closing. Yeah, and you're gonna have a show right now. So actually, when I flew home from Nuremberg, they had taken the last 2 planes before us and quarantined those 2.
I remember in Nuremberg, like Pernod and Hennessy had to break down the stands.
Yeah.
I remember that was the start, right?
Yeah, it was the start. They were closing down. We had on the Friday in Nuremberg, we had the first positive test in Iceland. It was actually coming from a lot of people go skiing in Austria from Iceland at this time of year. So people were coming from Austria to Iceland. They were sick. So I flew home on Monday, and they had quarantined the Sunday and the Saturday airplanes before. So the Monday plane got through, no problems, no one sick in that plane, and they were getting people home. And after that, we have just been in shutdown. Everything has been closed. I had booked 4 tours from March until now, and everything has been canceled. So hopefully Nuremberg again. I'm praying for it. Oh no, this is a bug.
Germany is difficult at the moment. I don't think so, but
we just have to buckle down.
But the Nuremberg guys already said they have a bigger hall, much more place for the stands, and maybe we have luck.
Yeah, maybe. Let's pray for it, hopefully. But we do bring the hoodies to the trade shows usually. But again, just email us. We're sending out stuff right now. Yes, we only use X young malt casks. We're not using bourbon casks. We have 4 bourbon casks that we bought in to try, 4 or 6, just to try them out, how it would come out. But due to shipping price, it is better for us to take the new barrels than buying bourbon casks. They are cheaper, but the transport from US to us is 3 times as much as buying the new barrels from either Spain or it's 3 years old. The shipping is 3 years old. We have been bottling the single malt at 3 years old and the young malt at 12 months. You're getting questions. It's so much fun. So now let's the barrels. I lost what I was talking about.
It was about the first fill.
Yeah.
I think you answered it.
Yeah, but we don't have coopers in Iceland anymore. We have gone back to, so my great grandfather was a cooper, but he made herring barrels, and the brother of my grandfather, he did do some trades with him, but this is a trade that was lost in Iceland over 50, 60 years ago. So we don't have a chance of building the barrels in Iceland anymore. But we did get a promise that we could send someone to learn how to be a cooper in Scotland and then bring him back. So maybe someday we will have Icelandic coopers again. But if I need to fix a barrel, I just go into the zone and it's in my blood. I will just believe I'm a cooper. I will just fix them. But thankfully, we have been lucky. Not so many of them have leaked or been bad. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess that's it.
Yes.
I really like what you do. I think Kirsch had it already when I joined, but I got the single malt and I thought, okay, I love it.
Kirsch came on really, really early, and they started importing us for the gin. So 2014, when we released the gin, I think Kirsch has been with us since 2015. Kirsch came on really early, and has been taking really good care of us. So we are really happy with that. And we're really happy with the German market. The German market is really interesting and interested in what we are doing. But
yeah. So thank you very much for taking your time.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And I hope we see us next year.
Me too.
At a fair.
I'm kind of sad that I'm not in Bremen. There's something missing in my Christmas now. There's the fact that I'm not in Bremen, but we'll just have to make do. And hopefully I can be in Nuremberg. Getting any interesting questions? Yes. You will get, I don't know if this will show. I'll try to do it. So this is not showing so good. So when you get the tiers, the stream is really long, and I don't know if you can see this. You see this? This is so weird. It is going to stay for a long time, and that is due to the fact that we are getting so much oil from the Icelandic barley that the spirit is much softer. So even though we're getting less yield, we're getting more of the oils, and that makes the spirit softer. So I actually think it gives us a little bit better spirit, and the softness eases it out, and you don't need as long of aging when the spirit is softer than if you get better yields, more starch, you get less protein, less oils. So yeah, the reason for why it takes so long, it's just the oils from the Icelandic barley. And I think, and it gives you the long finish, which is my favorite part of it. It kind of sits with you for a long time in your mouth.
Flóki is different. Definitely a whiskey you will always find out if you tasted it already before.
And it also changes in the glass. I really like putting like 1 or 2 drops into my glass and then just adding just a few drops, because it will change it a lot to put water into it. And I usually drink it with a few drops of water just to open it up a little bit better. But that's just a personal opinion, and people should try it and then figure out what they feel best, what they like the most.
Yeah. So, once again, thank you very much, Eva.
Thank you.
Greetings to your dad and your mom.
Thank you.
Your dad is always doing some comments on my Facebook stuff from time to time.
Yeah, no, it's like, Dad, come on.
But always in Icelandic, so.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and remember, he has a German mom, so he actually understands German.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's great. So we were actually just working in the distillery today, just packing the pallet, just like, yeah, let's finish this pallet, get it out of the door.
So, have a good day.
You too.
No, or a good night. What time is it?
It's 8:30 with us. It's the same time as you.
It's 9:30.
Oh yeah, okay. So we are an hour behind.
Yeah.
But it's completely dark since 5, so.
So, see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.